Hello America, tonight I will be interviewing a man named Petruchio. I am going to ask him the tough questions, and get to the bottom of the story. So Petruchio, I heard you just got married to this shrew Catherine from Padua. Do you actually love Catherine?
Well Stephen, it is more like a love-hate kind of relationship. I love her and she hates me. However, it still seems to be working out between me and her now that I have her on an emotional leash.
That's funny. I never thought of emotionally taming my wife. I just tie mine up so she does not kill me while I sleep. Which brings me to my next question. How is your relationship with her dad Baptista?
Ha ha, you can say he loves me more than his old wife. Baptista's whole entire life has changed now that Catherine does not live at home anymore. He told me that right before I came and took Catherine away, he was just about on his last straw with her.
I wish my wife's dad loved me like that. All I ever get from him is death threats and broken windows on my car. Has your life changed at all since you married Catherine?
Not all that much. However, I do get to mess around with people's minds more than ever now.
Who have you been messing around with?
Mainly Catherine. I like to make her think one way, then immediately tell her that she is wrong and that it is actually different from what I just told her.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe I will try that out on my wife when she is not trying to kill me or run away from the house. I also heard that you have been doing the same thing to your house servants. How are they handling the whole thing?
They are so confused by me that I cannot stop laughing at them anymore. One minute I am giving them money, and the next I am giving them a hard time about every detail of the food they cooked.
That is hilarious, Petruchio. However, I would like to go back to Baptista now. Did he give you any kind of persuasion to marry Catherine, like gold or land?
To be completely honest, Stephen, he offered a lot of land and gold to me on the grounds of his death, and he only asked me to offer back a little amount if I were to die.
Obviously you took the deal from Baptista because you are married to Catherine now. Did his offer of land and gold play a big or small part in your reasons to marry Catherine?
It played a pretty big role in my reasons to marry her. However, I also married her out of sheer loneliness after my dad passed away, and because my friends offered me a ton of gold to marry her so they could marry Bianca.
That is actually pretty funny, but I have to ask you, why did you not try and go after Bianca? From what I heard, Bianca was a total babe.
As I already said, my friends paid me a ton of gold to marry Catherine, and I would have gotten nothing for marry Bianca.
I also heard that Lucentio ended up marrying Bianca instead of your friend Hortensio. How did that news affect you since you married Catherine to help him out?
It was a little rough at first because I married Catherine so he could get to Bianca, but it really worked out better for me in the long run because I got money from nothing really. It was a little messed up how Lucentio got Bianca though, very dirty move by him.
In the end, do you think Hortensio was better off marrying the rich old widow?
I think Hortensio got the better deal of the whole situation because he did not have to promise a ton of gold and land to anyone, and he got to marry a rich woman whose land he can live on.
Very insightful, Petruchio. Maybe I should have asked you for love advice before I married my crazy, poor, and young wife. I guess I picked up the wrong kind of wife from the mail-ordered bride website. Back to your wife Catherine, how is the taming process coming along for you?
Well Stephen, you should have seen it. When we were having a big dinner party where everyone except for Grumio came, we had this big contest to see whose wife was the most obedient. Everyone made their bets, and then I upped the stakes 10 times. The craziest part of the whole thing is that only my wife came, and she forced the other 2 wives to come with her. You should have seen everyone's faces.
That does sound crazy, Petruchio, and I wish I has been invited. I would have bet on my wife 100 times the stakes, because my wife does not have a choice to come. She's so obsessed with trying to kill me, she would have been the first one to come even if she was the last wife to be called over.
That sounds very interesting, Stephen, and I will make sure I invite you to the next family competition of whose wife is the best.
Sounds like a plan, Petruchio, but I have one last question before I let you go, and that is how did you get Catherine to yell at Bianca and the widow about how bad of wives they are, and how they should be more like her? That was just pure amazing.
Well, the whole betting all of our money on a silly game, and not feeding her for a week thing really did help. More or less though, I finally got her to understand that without following every order I give her, she will suffer some serious setbacks in her life with me.
That is perfect, Petruchio. I do not think it could have been done any better. Hopefully, I can finally settle my crazy wife down, and get her tamed just like Catherine. Thank you for coming on my show tonight, and it was amazing to talk to you, Petruchio.
You are welcome, Stephen, and I love to hear about your crazy mail order bride. Goodbye, Stephen.
Well, America, I think I got down to the facts of that story. Until tomorrow night's show, good night, America.
Written by Sean McHugh, Ryan Sanders, and Will Rollins.